Hey, son.
Hey,
How are you?
wonderful.
Is everything all right here?
It's fine for now, I guess.
Are they treating you all right?
I guess, fine.
All right, well, let's go talk, all right? Come on. Here's a seat.
Mom, you gotta get me out of here.
I know, son, look, I found a good lawyer. He is working on getting you out of here, all right? So, you gotta stay out of trouble. Don't let nobody tempt you to do anything that's going to keep you here any longer. You understand me?
Yeah, but why can't I go home today?
Look, baby, I know I want you home too. But listen, come Monday morning, you are going to be out of here.
You sure?
I'm sure. Listen, this lawyer, from what I heard, is good. And he is going to take payments.
Okay.
So it's going to be all right.
Okay.
So you just got to keep praying and know that God is going to protect you. All right?
Yeah.
Alex Lee, time to go back.
I love you.
My name is Sean Essian. I am a former prosecutor for the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office. I served several different functions while at the State's Attorney's Office. I was a district court supervisor in early resolution, as well as a felony narcotics prosecutor for several years. As well, I worked in the charging division of the office for a year as well. So my primary role in all of those functions, though, were to assist the State's Attorney's Office in prosecuting criminal charges that had been brought by the Baltimore City Police Department or via complaints by citizens. There are often stories in the State's Attorney's Office. We often share our stories in terms of what the cases are we're working on. I have not personally dealt with a case similar in terms of the fact pattern with Alex's case. However, I've often dealt with cases dealing with defendants who, by their allegations, will vehemently state their innocence, that the facts are on the borderline between whether or not they're substantive enough to get actual conviction or not. So there are cases similar to that I've dealt with previously, but specifically in terms of Alex's fact pattern, not that case in and of itself. But in Baltimore City, you often have cases that are very similar to the fact pattern of Alex and the fact pattern of having a young person kind of caught up in a system without them really knowing kind of what they're getting involved in.
Mr. Reed, we don't have all day. We'd like to stay on schedule.
Your Honor, I apologize. I tried to contact them. They should be here shortly.
Come on, Missy, hurry up. Always making me late. Come on, girl. 4:43. Come on, Missy. This is it. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm late.
Glad you could join us. You two ladies have a seat.
Your Honor, you have the report, and we're here to find out what's the court's proceedings.
I do have the report here in front of me. I've read the file. I've called you in today to find out from you, Ms. Taylor, exactly what happened on the day in question. Ms. Taylor, I'm talking to you.
You don't have to say anything, Missy.
Ma'am, again, I'm talking to you, Ms. Taylor. I need you not to give that kind of advice out. You do need to answer the question. Tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I
But
apologize.
she's afraid that Alex might try to hurt her if she say anything.
And I do understand that she may be afraid, but I need you not to cut me off again. Now, according to the report that I have, Alex is going to plead guilty today. And with that plea, he's going to be asking for a lesser sentence. And with that lesser sentence, he may not serve any jail time.
Well, that's where he need to be. Locked up.
Ma'am, calm down. Again, everything that I have, the documentation that I have, he is going to plead guilty to all charges. However, as I stated earlier before I was cut off, he may not receive any jail time.
What? That's where he need to be. Locked up. He gonna try to hurt me and my daughter? I hope he right.
Man, hold.
That no good son of a
My
bitch.
It's enough. I've asked you several times to calm down. What I need you to do now is to remove yourself from this room.
Oh, well, that ain't no problem.
And I need you
Come
to
on,
do it
Lisa.
quietly,
Well, this is as quiet as it gets.
as long as it gets done.
My apologies, Your Honor.
He's a model student, and I believe that he can handle that.
Well, hopefully this will work. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been done a lot here in this state, but maybe we can start something different. So, you know what, I think someone's trying to come in the door right now.
Okay, that's done.
Mr. Lee, we're here this morning to settle the case between you and Miss Taylor. What exactly is your relationship with Miss Taylor?
We're just friends. That's all.
According to this police report, you're more than just, I don't even think you are friends. Can you tell me what happened on the day in question, please?
Well, all that happened was me and Miss Taylor were just watching TV, and her crazy mother walked in and assumed she got raped, but none of that actually happened. She's crazy.
This young lady has some very serious allegations towards you, sir. You could be facing a substantial amount of time if you're convicted of these charges. Are you aware of that?
Yes, Judge.
You know, even as a juvenile, you could spend the rest of your life locked up.
Counsel, how does your defendant plead today?
Well, Your Honor, there's no evidence that my client did anything except be in someone's home without the permission from the owner of the house. However, he was granted permission to be inside the dwelling. I know that the plaintiff is sticking by her story, but it's not true, Your Honor. The plaintiff's daughter and my client are friends. His mother is here with him and has claimed that the plaintiff's mother has had run-ins with the law herself and has been known to make up stories, false accusations and police reports prior to this case. Your Honor, my client has no priors and is a really good student. He has been accepted into college and he has a new job. His supervisors, teachers, mentors, and friends have nothing but good things to say about my client.
Well, the police report says different. And now I'm thinking about sending you back to the juvenile facility until your court date.
No, I don't want to go back there. Is there anything else you can do for me?
Mr. John, you said you would want to help him. He could not go back there.
And he won't. This is juvie, like I explained to you earlier. Just, as long as you're not lying to me, I have a plan. So as long as everything's been the truth, this should work out fine.
What is this plan?
Yeah, what is it, Mr. Jones?
The plan is to send this into adult court. Once you're in adult court, you'll get a bail, and then you should come home today.
Adult court, but I wasn't supposed to go to jail.
And you're not. You won't go back to jail. Do you want to go to the juvenile facility or not?
No.
Then let me do what it is that I'm doing. Let me work the plea. You'll be fine.
Okay.
My name is Maceo Hallman. I'm Director of East Baltimore Youth and Family Services. I'm also a member of the Baltimore City DMC Committee, which is Disproportionate Minority Contact. Been a part of that for the last 10 years. But mostly an advocate for juvenile justice in the city of Baltimore. Well, we hear, and you're hitting on a key point here, because when we talk to young people, these young males from that population, a number of them are under this misconception that going to the adult system will work in their favor. They believe that they'll get credit for time served and they'll walk out, right? What we try to do is convince them, you may want to take a second look at that. That's not the way you want to. In the short term, yes, you may get out. You may be out in the community, get credit for time served, which, by the way, you don't get that for the juvenile system. You don't get credit for time served. It's a whole different system. And that part, they don't really understand what impact that's going to have on, pursuing an education or employment. So one of the things that we try to do is work with that population, because that's a very difficult population to work with. And oftentimes these are young people that have had multiple contacts with juvenile justice system, and trying to convince them, look, that's not the way you want to go. You won't want to plead out in the adult system so that you think that you can walk out of jail sooner. You may want to take a second look and stand up and say, look, if you didn't commit the charge, you didn't commit it. And that's the road you should take.
How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to this offense, you could be facing a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison?
20 years. You didn't say anything about 20 years. You said I would go home today.
You had to plead guilty to get the alternative sentencing.
Well, what's the alternative sentence?
Listen, you were not going to win the case, so you had to take the best that you could. Now, I told you I'm going to make sure you don't do a minute in jail.
Mr. Lee, I'm going to sentence you to 5 years with all suspended except 1.
I thought I wasn't going to jail.
Hold on, let me just talk to the judge, okay? Your Honor, yeah, I was informed that my client would not be doing any jail time.
Was that discussed?
Yes, I believe it was, Your Honor.
Well, let me see. No prior record. But this is a very serious offense. Okay, son. You would do 1 year of intense probation and 4 years of probation to follow. If you violate that, you will be sentenced to those 5 years in prison. Do you understand that?
So do I go home today or?
Yes, just agree to the terms.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Case dismissed. Court's adjourned. Case dismissed. Court's adjourned.